There's a difference between being a realist and being negative, and I don't want you to confuse the two. And can everyone that keeps claiming that they're realists but tend to see the negatives in every situation stop claiming that you're just being real? Because you're not being real, you're being negative. There are people in life who are a little miserable on the inside and will like to sprinkle their realism around. Listen, if you plan to be a realist, if you plan to see the real in everything and be realistic, that's totally fine. But it doesn't mean that you have to shove that agenda on everyone else's plate, and you don't have to shove that in everyone else's face, and you definitely don't have to rain down on everyone else's parade in order for you to feel like you're real. Maybe it's because I am known to be a dreamer and I tend to see the positive in things, or I just try to shine the light on what it is that I can look forward to. And it's not because I have my head in the clouds all the time, but it's because I'd rather live my life with a positive than a negative mind, because I know that the positive mind is going to suit me more than the negative will. I'd rather live in good spirits than trying to nitpick every single thing that's wrong with life. When you're looking for something wrong, you'll find it. You being real and being realistic is not essentially saving you. It's not protecting you from anything, because all it's doing is keeping you safe and it's keeping you comfortable. It's making you stagnant because you're keeping yourself afraid. It's essentially hurting you. There's nothing wrong with hoping for the best. It doesn't make you any less of a person. In fact, it kind of makes you more vulnerable. And vulnerability is a strength. You already know that what you decide to gain or what you decide to go for is capable and is in your realm. No matter what you think, as long as you keep the consistency and you have the discipline to keep going regardless of whatever happens, regardless of the negative, regardless of the hardships that you may face, regardless of the humps that you have to come across, you know that you can grasp and you can get whatever it is that you want, as long as you keep thinking that you deserve it. In the moment that you feel like you don't deserve it, or the moment you start doubting that it's not for you, then it's not going to be for you. So what kind of person are you going to choose to be in life? Are you going to be a realist, or are you going to be one that's brave enough to seek the unknown? One that's brave enough to seek the impossible? There's two kinds of people in life. Some people see what they want and then they go for it. You know, they see their goals and then they make a plan and they put the steps in motion and they go after it. And then there's the other person that sees the things that's in the way of what they want. So in other words, they look at it from a negative aspect and they see that everything that's in the way of what they want. Instead of looking and focusing on the goal, they see the hardships instead. They see the humps that they have to get through. They see the work that they have to do. And so they don't go after it because all they see is the things that are in the way of them getting there. They don't want the work. They don't want to try and work. They want the easy way out. And so instead they stay the same. So you choose what kind of person you want to be. Do you want to be the person that sees what they want and goes after it? Or you want to be the person that sees the things in the way of what they want? Nothing changes and nothing changes. And so if you're not changing your mindset, if you're not changing something about you that's not working, then you can't expect the change that you want. But if you have your eyes on success, you'll fail your way to success either way. Think about metamorphosis, how the butterfly has to go through the process of becoming a butterfly. It takes time, it takes effort, and it takes strength to get there. But nobody really talks about the struggle. Nobody really talks about the trials and the failures and what they did to get where they are. There are no shortcuts to your liberation. Then it's not going to turn out the way that you want it to, or it's not going to turn out the way that it's supposed to. We compare our lives to others in the same way that we look at the butterflies flying around. How beautiful it is. And we call them beautiful for all the wrong reasons, because we're failing to see the transformation that it took. We're failing to see the metamorphosis in it all. And we frankly forget to stop and marvel at the strength that it took to become. Which road are you going to take and which path are you going to go? Are you going to do the positive or are you going to do the negative? And whichever you choose, stick with it. Bad news is a lot can change in a year, but the good news is that a lot can change in a year. It's how you see the situation and it's how you see your life. With that, you'll start to see the light that shines within you. Happy Monday.